It's time. Time for me to make a game. Wow, that was dramatic. So for a while now, I've been playing around with the idea of actually going ahead and making my own game. But I wanted to go to the next level and look at making a game that I can sell on Steam and then see if I can make it good enough to actually port it onto a console. So I've been kicking around with this idea now for quite a while. I really wanted to do a horse game, so not VR. Some of you might be shocked by because my entire YouTube channel at this moment in time is all about VR. But this is going to be almost like a third person, but it's not a person, it's a horse. You're going to play as an animal. And it's kind of inspired by those games such as The First Tree, that's really good. And another one which I've been playing recently called Omni, which is about this small dude that runs around and you collect some light. But both tell a really good story, and that's what I want to do. I want to tell a really good story through a game, hopefully that people enjoy playing, and I can see how far we can go with it. So I have started a little bit of work on this already, but I'm going to show you some concept imagery to give you a feel of the kind of look I'm going for and a bit of a flavour of what the game's going to involve. So this is it. My game's called Echoes in the Meadow, and your character here is this horse. And you can see I've gone for a kind of like a low poly style for my game. I think that would be pretty cool. So this image just gives me an idea about how I want the game to kind of look and act as a bit of a visual direction moving forward. So I actually took this concept and moved it into Unity. Get my mouse out of the way. And I can look around like you would do it in any normal third-person game. And I got control of the horse here. And then I can run around. I've got these pads which you can do stuff on. It says E at the moment, but it's not E. Press the button on the controller and it does some actions. And then you've got a little sprint there. So this is just really testing out the horse and the animations and making sure it works well as a game. So this little scene is just setting up, just getting used to the systems and figuring out where to go. So I've got this, I've got my concept art, and also started writing the script as well, of which I've kind of done the first level of. So there's going to be about 6 to 8 levels in this game, I think. It should be manageable. So it's only just me working on it, so I can't make it too big as it'll take forever. Hoping to have this done by Christmas. And the whole game will focus around this character here, which is the main character, and the journey that they go on in order to find their herd. And it's kind of all a little bit about self-discovery, building confidence, and unlocking mysteries of the horse's past. So I'm writing that story now, done the first level, and then hope to get some more done fairly soon. So already made quite good progress on it, really. And now I just need to kind of start building out some of the levels, just blocking them out, and then trying to add some of those interactions in. So we'll be doing like devlogs of these as I go, hopefully learning together and overcoming problems together as time goes on. So this is kind of how the game will feel. So I've got how the game will look as concept art. I've got how the game roughly feels as you're controlling your character and running around and jumping and stuff, and you can do different actions. Lost the jump button already. There we go. And what I'm trying to figure out at the moment is music, and that is proving to be a huge nightmare in terms of like the legal requirements around what you can and can't use in your game. I've tried various different websites like Artlist and Epidemic Sound, and like Artlist, I think they quoted me like 10 grand for an enterprise license, which I'm never going to be able to do that. And I think Epidemic Sound is something like £250 per track for the rights to use the music in the game. So I'm also kind of having to write music as well, which I can't do. I can play like some notes on the piano. So I gave a lot of thought about how I want my game to sound, and I wanted to come up with like a general tone of how the game would look and feel, and what would that sound like if you could put it in a box and say this is what my game sounds like, and then a lot of the tracks would stem from that. So I can't really play the piano at all. As a disclaimer, I took a couple of lessons on Simply Piano, I think the app was called, and also several YouTube videos of when I was trying to learn to play a couple of Linkin Park songs. So my piano experience is very limited. So all I can really do is play a few chords that sound good for the game. It's literally just a case of going through the piano, pressing some keys. I have no idea what they are. I literally had to put them into a website for where I was placing my fingers to get the chord. And then I found a sequence of chords that I felt once they were put together sounded really cool. So, you know, if you don't worry if you can't play an instrument. I wouldn't say I can play the piano, but I know enough to kind of get me through and figure out how the game should sound. So essentially I found a sequence of 4 chords. I have no idea what they are. I have to look up. But when played together, sound really good and is kind of like where I'm going kind of emotionally for the game. So I'll just play what I'm thinking the game is going to kind of feel like in a very general sense, and we can put that with some of the horse running around, and that should give you a flavour of what's to come. So I've got how the game should look with my concept art. I've got like a rough idea about the sound and the theme of the music that I'm going for, and also got some of the gameplay here for the character. So I've got the foundations of a game in progress, and now it's just a case of building out that script, writing the story and making sure that makes sense, and then blocking out the levels. And it'd be great to have you along for the journey. I'm going to hopefully post a video of this every week so you can see the game as it progresses and get your thoughts and feedback. And then for those of you who are on Patreon, I'm going to be putting the builds on Patreon as well. So every week you'll be able to see how that game is progressing. And then you can send me messages on there of things that you found that aren't quite working. And then it'd be cool to put all of those Patreon members that have helped with the testing on the credits of the game, which would be really cool. So stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.